G'day everyone, happy Easter. Rach here from Rara's Realm. Welcome to my stitchy progress. I'm a Kiwi Flosstuber. I'm also struggling to get my brain into gear. It's Easter Monday here in New Zealand, Easter Sunday for everybody else in the Northern Hemisphere. So I hope you've had a good day. Haven't had too much chocolate. I did a little bit yesterday. Welcome to my new subscribers. Thanks for joining in the madness this year. And g'day to everyone. Jill, it's Easter Monday, love. You don't need to do your housework today. Okay? I said. Tell hubby. I said. Okay, so I have 4 things to show you. Maths is not good. I'm still struggling to get into gear. I probably should have wiped my face beforehand. I feel like I'm half asleep. Okay, I've got 4 things to show you and I've got no haul. However, I have got 4 things on the way. And when I say things, I don't mean individual things. I mean 4 purchases from 4 different, well, actually 3 different outlets. For some reason, and I have no idea how long ago it was, I requested to join a stash unload group, and for some reason last week that request went through. I don't know why it took months and months and months, but it did. And so suddenly I was getting all these stash unload posts and I'm thinking, why am I getting all these posts? And then I saw in my notifications that I had been approved. So I had some fun looking at all these charts coming by my Facebook page, and 90% of them only ship within the US, and that's fine, but there are a few that will ship internationally, and there is a lady somewhere in the USA who is clearing out her charts, and she's got some pretty amazing stuff. So I have 2 separate transactions with her. One is for 2 Chessie and me charts, and the other is for 4 prairie schoolers, including one I don't believe I've ever laid eyes on before. So that's exciting. The Chessie and me has left Chicago. I know that much from the tracking. The prairie schoolers probably won't ship until Monday her time. Then I have a purchase from Linen and Threads in Australia on its way, and God knows how long that'll take. I mean, it's 3 hours on a plane, but it takes forever by post. It's ridiculous. And I have I have tried a new online store. I was watching Nicole Needleworks' latest video, and she showed a sampler that I think was released at Nashville. I've got it on my Nashville list. And it reminded me that I really wanted this sampler. So I went searching and found it in an online store, either in Wisconsin or Michigan. I can't remember where. So obviously it can't travel on its own. It would be lonely. So there are 3 other charts in that package as well. I have not done very well on kitting anything, however, in any of these purchases. I've only brought charts. So I think later in this week I will have to get on to 123 Stitch and get some fabric and threads. I really want to start this, so I'm going to work on kitting this up, as well as getting Cooper, the last of the DMC for Cooper. Anyway, I'll have so many things kitted up and I'll run out by the end of the year and not be able to start any of them. Right, let's crack on. So we are in the mid-fortnight Monday, which means that we are checking on what I did last week, and then it'll be next week when we choose the new projects. So the first ball out of the bag last week was for my Haid. Yeah. So I am attempting to do a Haid, and I have only just started it, and I'm afraid the jury is out on this one. I've got to hang in. I'm going to hang in there and complete page 1 before I make a decision. So this is Silent Night Lane. I'm just trying to watch the glare. It's a lovely winter, snowy, Christmassy scene that I would absolutely love to have. Yes, enough of that. So I didn't actually stitch on Monday, if I remember rightly, so I only stitched on Tuesday. So I have almost completed a second block. This first block is fully completed, then this one I had only done about half of it, so I've got done a little bit more plus some periphery stitches in those two blocks. So it's a bit pathetic. It still just looks like a blue blob, and it's going to fall off. You just excuse me one moment while I put it back in its ridiculously big project bag, and then we won't have slidey off issues. Just go back in there. Right. The next cab off the rank was to do a just cross stitch ornament, and I did flick through several issues, hard copy issues rather than the DVD, looking at what I could make work, and then I just remembered and realised that I had brought all the threads to do several of the blue ribbon designs, and I thought, why am I trying to find something when I've got everything together? So I went and had a look at the various blue ribbon designs that I've still got to stitch, and I chose this one. It's this little one here. It is called A Woodland Wish, and it is in the 2014 Just Cross Stitch issue, and my stitching still wasn't really in gear by then, so I've got a measly start, the border and some of the trees. It's a bit pathetic for 2 days stitching, really. I couldn't get my brain into gear, but at least it started. So, and I've got all the called for threads for that. Then the next day, the next ball to work on was Orchard Valley Quilting Bee, and I got into gear a little bit more with that. So I am working down here in this square, and when I showed it to you last, I had the outline of the tree, the trunk, a little bit of grass and a little bit of border done. So I did a little bit better with this. So I've got the tree completely finished, complete with apples, I'm calling them. I've got the quilt completely finished, and the bottom part of this house is completely done. It just needs its roof and then the main part of the house to do. So again, progress could be better, but I'm struggling to get into gear again after having a week off from stitching. And then my what is today, Monday? So my Sunday Monday piece, which was yesterday today, it was a prairie schooler, and the only prairie schooler I could do was something from the Needleworks Santas, because none of the other things at the moment I've got kitted up, either the right fabric or the right DMC or overdyes or whatever. So I decided that I would just do a couple of these for now, while I figure out what prairie schooler I want to do next, and it may be one of the ones that's actually coming in this stash unload order. So I've had this chart for a few years now, before I even started Flosstube, and I've actually done that one. I did that before I had ever done started Flosstube, and I decided to work on this one down the bottom, Santa with the lantern and the tree. So this is yesterday's stitching around making a roast lunch dinner. Again, not a huge amount, but we're getting there. And I've actually got enough fabric here. Oh, I've pinned it, hang on. I reckon I can probably get 3 on here. There is a tear I've got to be aware of down here. But I reckon I could probably get 3 of these Redwork Santas on here over time. So I think when I pull the Prairie Schooler for the time being, this is what I'm going to work on. So I've got this to do today. Today is the second day of its rotation. And then I've got Quaker Street, Sophia and Louise to round out the week. I think that is it, amazingly. It's a miserable day. So I am actually going to watch some live baseball and stitch this afternoon. All the chores are done. I like to get them out of the way early, so that then when I want to stitch all afternoon I can do it guilt-free because everything's done. I don't think there's anything else that I want to share. It's not going to work for me because the timing's not right, but I do believe that if you follow the Fat Quarter Flosstube channel, not the quilting one, the Flosstube part of their stuff, early on Wednesday morning American time, so it's Thursday for those of us in the Southern Hemisphere, and I'm not sure what it is for England. Priscilla and Chelsea are going to be live on the Flosstube channel. I think they said 9 AM Wednesday their time. That for me is like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, so I'm probably not going to watch it live, but I'll watch the replay later. So if you are able to, that might be quite cool to watch it live. That's about all I have at the moment, so I shall watch this back, check it's acceptable, and I will catch you next week to see how this week has gone and to choose the next round of projects. Have a good week everyone, stitch everything you want to stitch, and I will see you then. Bye for now.